Your stance on Obamacare is that basically specific individuals shouldn't be privileged and exempted from the law, right? There should be no Washington exemption if you're going to have something like Obamacare. But immigration reform does just that. It exempts certain people from the law of the land, and my view is that given all the polls that show that especially Latinos have a disproportionate affection for Obamacare, how are you not working at cross purposes here? First of all, you're exempting a whole bunch of people from what should be the law of the land here. What is the law of the land? And second of all, it turns out that these people are going to be fighting for bigger government programs.
Okay, two questions. They are two very different project lines. One, I'm very much a Ronald Reagan, Jack Kemp Republican. I think immigrants make the country stronger, better, wealthier, healthier.
Illegal immigrants. We're talking illegal immigrants. My children are immigrants.
Right.
So I'm with you on that. But what about illegal immigrants and what's happening with illegal immigrant workers in the United States and the special affection that especially Latinos have with Obamacare, all the polls, and then also with government programs, increasingly liberal on social issues, but mostly it's focused on the economics. How does that work 10, 15 years out down the road? Do you think that influx of people, which certainly will be given voting rights, will become these Madisonian conservatives? They're going to be voting and contributing to Americans for Tax Reform to shrink government, Grover, really?
Okay. When we talk about immigration reform, we're talking about rewriting our immigration laws, and that is people both backward-looking, the 11 million who came across the border without asking permission, and the hopefully millions in the future who will be coming. We need to have an open door for high-tech STEM guys, and that's a piece of, when we talk about comprehensive immigration reform, there are like 10 different pieces. That one, take them one at a time. That is what makes us the future, and Europe not.
You guys hang it on STEM, and you predicate that on there are no American engineers. There are no Americans out there today who will work for a good wage. There's no. So we got to bring all these people in from India and China and Japan or wherever it is. Okay. A huge influx of people, so Mark Zuckerberg can lower wages for all Americans and who are working in Facebook. You do understand the connection to wages, do you not?
Well, remember, those people don't disappear and turn into pillars of salt if they don't come here. They stay in their home country where they get paid a lot less.
I don't care what they do in their home country. I care about the standard of living of American workers, graduating engineers. My brother's an engineer at MIT. I care about what our people are making, which is flatlining, which is good for Facebook, but it's not good for the American people.
Okay. I'm all in favor of
high wages?
More domestic, more people who go to college here, like your brother, to go into engineering and fewer into French literature, because that's good for the country, and French literature is terribly tedious, and most of it's in French. So there's a whole bunch of stuff we can do there, but we do have challenges in agriculture, in the farming industry, in dairy. I think we need I think we need more people. I like more immigration. We can have a big debate about. We're talking about changing the law. We're not talking about making special exceptions. Changing the law, like the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. It was a bad law. Should be 75.
7.4% unemployment on the low end, but when you really analyze it, it's much more like 12.7%, given the part-time work and the people taking work that they're overqualified for. I mean, adding millions of immigrants
were here when we were at 5% unemployment. Unemployment is Obama's fault, not the immigrants' fault.
Adding millions of immigrants to Obamacare, how is that going to help the taxpayers, the middle-class taxpayers?
And the reform that will pass the Republican House will prohibit folks from getting on welfare.
They're already on welfare. What are you talking about? Their kids are here, and they're getting food stamps and all of that already. They're already getting welfare benefits. So you think that Obama is going to enforce all of this, like he's doing, by the way, for immigration now? You think he's going to be a tough-minded guy, and they're going to deny Obamacare? They're not going to be voting.
Laura, we need a different president. We need a different Senate. And my objection to what Ted Cruz has been doing doing is shooting only at Republicans during this Obamacare fight. We need to be taking this to the Democrats who voted for Obamacare, who are protecting Obamacare, and the president
and the illegal
who's
aliens that you want to make legal love Obamacare. That is a bottom line truth, and they're going to be disproportionately addicted to the government programs that Grover Norquist fights so hard against and has dedicated his life to. So short term, it might be good for Facebook and from agricultural workers that want to keep wages low in the field.
Laura,
it's good for them short term. Long term, it's terrible for your goal.
We're going to pass the Ryan Act, which reforms all this before the next 5 years is over, and about 10 to 20 years before this new voter thing that you're worried about is going to take place.
So
we're going to fix this, Laura. Don't worry. Don't sweat. I got this all set.
Oh, you got it all covered? Yeah, that's what, Reagan, who I think was a little smarter than you, thought he had it all covered, too, in 86, and that didn't work out so well.
No, he didn't, because they didn't give him a guest worker program. That's what the problem was. That was organized labor that stopped the guest worker program.
I understand you, but I don't understand how we think that anyone's going to vote for Republican in the future if Republicans end up pushing policies that lower middle-class wages. I don't see how Republicans end up building a huge majority on that platform.
Wages have increased faster during periods of high immigration in this country throughout its history, always have, Laura. Rising tide raises all boats. Let's have pro-growth policies. Pro-growth policies. Let's focus on that.
Yeah, all right. Grover
jobs,
Norquist.
Laura, jobs.
Yeah, if we had 2.4% unemployment, I would listen to you a little bit more closely.
You don't fix that until you get a different president.
Yeah, well, if you think Mark Zuckerberg is your friend and the friend of small government conservatism, then I have another bridge to sell you.